policy and conduct at public meetings. The public is invited to speak on any item under discussion by the council after recognition by the presiding officer. The speaker should stand and, for the record, give his or her name and, if applicable, the person, firm, organization he or she represents. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes unless approved by the presiding officer. And citizens requesting to speak shall limit him or herself to matters of fact regarding the issue of concern. Prepared statements are welcome and should be given to the clerk of council. Prepared statements that are also read, however, shall be deemed unduly repetitious. All prepared statements shall become part of the hearing record. While the town council is in session, those in attendance must preserve order and decorum. A member shall no delay or interrupt the proceedings or the peace of the council, nor disturb any member while speaking or refuse to obey the orders of the council or its presiding officer. Any person making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks, or who shall become boisterous or disruptive during the council meeting, shall be forthwith barred from further presentation by the council, or to the council by the presiding officer, unless permission to continue be granted by the presiding officer or majority vote of the council. The Alberton Town Council reserves the right to amend these rules procedure as deemed necessary. Also, this month is going to be our first month to start recording, so make sure that we're going to be more strict on you standing up, stating your name for the record, and then also we want to keep these meetings productive. So when at these meetings you're to talk to the council or myself. Conversations amongst each other can be done after the meeting. And let's have an awesome meeting. So let's go and start with the reading and approval of minutes.
Okay. Nancy Tome, August 5th, 2025 at 7 p.m. The council present for last meeting was Mayor Anna LeDuc, Council Marvin Garding, Sharon Briggs, and Betsy Hugelin. Mayor LeDuc read the council rules of conduct. Minutes were read by the clerk. Marvin motioned to approve the minutes. Sharon seconded them, and all approved. The claims were discussed in the amount of $363,271.52. Motion to approve the claims was made by Marvin. Betsy seconded them, and all approved. Water and sewer. Charlie said the tie-ins to the water main were successful. Meadowview and the Springbox needed more work than others. The River Edge is exploring using our sewer lagoons for hotel RV wastewater. He sampled twice for their BOD and BSS numbers. River Edge is paying for the sampling. A tank diver cleaned the entire water tank. He fixed the sensor line leak that was under the tank. He also inspected the tank the last 2 times. The tank inside is in good condition. In 5 to 10 years, the outside needs to be power sprayed and repainted. A frost-free water spigot has been installed at the tank so they can access water if needed. Meter install has started, and the meters will be set up with software as we go. And there's no public comment. Water project. Paul Montgomery said that RLC was a good contractor, but scheduling can be an issue with them. Not much has changed since the last meeting. Hoping to get a pay app from RLC soon. The chain link at the Springbox needs to stay per DEQ requirements. There is about $125,000 left in the contract. The project ends at the end of September. There are no new change orders. Public comment. Lorraine Felstead asked where all the hydrants are located and why they are not at the top of the roads instead of the bottom. Paul answered, hydrants at the bottom are more effective for equipment usage by the fire department. Maintenance. Marvin said that the bouncy house guy drove a stake through the water line during railroad day. It was fixed. Marvin brought up Troy's estimates on asphalt for the community center parking lot. The estimate from Shadow Asphalt was motioned to approve by Marvin. Betsy seconded and all approved for $8,383.75. And Marvin provided the maintenance plan for approval for a sliding multi-year maintenance plan for the generator. The plan was discussed and motion to approve was made by Sharon, Marvin second, and all approved. Public comment, Kim Garding asked if there were more than one estimate. Marvin said yes. Quarterly reports, the county attorney not there. Sheriff, he said about 89 to 97 calls for service, mostly traffic citations, and not too much activity. So no public comment. The fire department, Frenchtown Rural Fire Chief Damian Frisbee said that they have a fire mitigation program to help reduce vegetation to prevent combustible fuels, and it's funded partially by grants. The program is very busy and they are booked out into next year. It's a first come, first served program. Call 626-5791 and ask for mitigation if you want more information. There has been an increase in fire activity in the past few weeks. There was a use of a newly installed hydrant and frost-free on a fire on Apple Lane recently. Also, Chief cautions not to burn after a rain. The fuels are still not wet enough to not catch fire easily. Talk to your neighbors and tell them not to burn now. Public comment, Bob Summerfield asked about the cost of the mitigation, and he answered cost varies. Old business, local government review volunteers are still needed. Public comment, Lorraine Felstedt asked who we've tried to contact for this. Mayor LeDuc replied, it's publicly posted on the town website and have personally asked around town and at the school. Resolution of intent 345 to adopt the Bear Aware Management Plan was read aloud by Anna. Some suggestions to the verbiage were made. Bob Summerfield brought up that only one person applied for reimbursement for bear cans. Tim Fox stated that the current management plan was not an actionable plan. The resolution of intent of the Bear Aware Plan was motioned to approve by Sharon, second by Betsy, and all approved, with 2 minor word changes in the document to be made. Public comment. Lorraine Felstedt asked if we can adopt the bear management plan right away, given the season. Bob Summerfield said that it is just a plan, no rush. New business. Mail-in ballot resolution was presented for approval, allowing a mail-in ballot only at the local election in November. Motion to approve by Betsy, Sharon second, all approved. Will be sent to Mineral County Elections Office. No public comment. The new Black Mountain software edition needed for export of data from the new water meters for billing. Contract approval for services. Motion to approve the contract was made by Sharon, second by Betsy, and all approved. No public comment. So clerk notes, budget meeting is coming up soon. The town office will be closed from Labor Day weekend until 9/9 or 9/10. Public comment, Amanda Sear introduced herself as the new principal of Alberton School. School starts August 20th. Motion to adjourn was made by Marvin, Sharon second, all approved. Meeting ended at 8:48 p.m.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Hold on.
Any questions?
Do we have any public comment?
Lorraine Felstedt commenting on the water project update that I had asked Paul Montgomery about the hydrants at the top of the hill. And he stated that the reason they were not at the top of the hill is because former Chief Calman said that they would not be used. And I would like that included in the minutes, please.
Okay.
Writing it down.
Does council motion with that adjustment to be made or added in there?
Well, first,
I'll second. Okay, all in favor?
aye.
So the minutes are approved with the add in from Lorraine. And then let's move on to claims. Because council had a chance to look over the claims in the amount of $38,083.57.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve the claims?
Well, first,
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the claims are approved. Let's move on to water and sewer updates. So both Charlie and Paul are not here, so Nancy's gonna give us their updates.
Fabulous. All right. Charlie wrote a brief synopsis. He said, "Please excuse my absence. RLC will be back in town working on the punch list items on 9/15. New meters are throughout the town. Thank you to everyone's cooperation on that endeavor. We are still lacking a handful of oddities, like, for example, different sized meters had to be ordered, but 93% have been installed. Still working out the kinks of getting the entire new meter system running, but should be fully operational by October. We will be getting material and working on the roads once the punch list is complete. Fixed sprinkler main line by the gazebo. Would like to take a cohesive look at the whole sprinkler system and sketch a map, perhaps in the spring. Gearing up for winter, mowing the lagoon once more, servicing the machines, and getting plows ready. Troy looked into new skid steer tires, surprisingly cheap, and seeking council for approval to buy them. You guys have that. That's the Tire-Rama invoice. Happy fall to all. Thanks, Charlie." So he's submitting this for approval. Just it's to replace the well-worn tires on the skid steer.
It does.
Yeah. Do we get a special discount?
I'd say that's reasonable.
Yeah. My truck tires are more expensive than that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? My Jeep tires are more expensive than that.
Well, I would approve that.
I would second that.
Okay, so you wanna make the motion?
Yes, I'll make the motion to approve.
I would
Tire
second.
tires.
For the amount of $848.70.
Yes.
And then Kyle second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's get our rig fixed. And then do you have any updates from Paul too?
You should have a report. Did you
Oh,
not get
yeah.
one?
Yeah, we have. I just wasn't sure if there's anything.
No,
you wanted
he
to
just sent
announce.
this at 4:00 today, so it's pretty current.
Okay.
Do you want me to? Want me to read it? I can read it.
I mean, if you just wanna go over, just.
Yeah, I'll touch on it. This is Paul Montgomery's engineer report. This is pretty current. I have not received RLC's pay application number 7, which is critical to determine affordability of remaining project items. I've been pestering them for a month and will continue to do so in order to ensure the final project expenditures are within the existing project budget. The status of all 8 funding sources as of funding package number 18, unchanged from July and August. ARPA has $113,926. They have $34,636 remaining for grant, admin, and construction. So the ARPA minimum allocation grant for $209,541 has $19,715 remaining for land acquisition. ARPA competitive is $1,417,650, has $141,803 remaining for construction inspection and construction. MCEP grant, $750,000, has $87,960 remaining for construction inspection. The DNRC RRGL grant for $125,000 has been completely expended. SRFA forgiven $894,000, has $773,267 remaining for bond cost, construction, and contingency. SRFB loan $298,000, has $165,563,000 remaining for legal costs, loan reserves, and construction. Alberton local contribution $138,157, has $135,784 remaining for construction and contingency. total remaining funds to get us to the finish line was $1,358,727. As of funding package number 18, there's $124,958 remaining in Anderson Montgomery contract to get to the finish line. We currently have approximately $74,000 in unbilled engineering services. We'll submit with pay package 19 when we receive RLC's pay app number 7. Engineering budget appears okay. Overall project status and construction issues. All distribution, piping and services are completed. Montana Department of Commerce compliance visit 9/16, no problems noted. Most residential meters installed. Note, Charlie installed most of these in existing pits. Work forecast, AMI system, training, and complete punch list. No change orders. Apparently Nancy has been in discussion with DNRC for a grant to plant trees in Alberton. Could save us $4,510 if we have them planted along Railroad instead of RLC subbing them out at Kara's Nursery in Missoula. So that's it. Any questions? I can't answer them, but.
I have one thing, Nancy. I actually didn't have this sheet in my packet.
I'm sorry, you can have
It's
them.
okay.
It's right there.
I was-
Memorandum.
Well, this is the other one. This is from last month.
Oh, yeah, the paper clip was your packet, sorry.
It's okay. I'll look over here, keep up.
Sorry.
Wait, yeah, you can have mine when you're done. I have copies.
Rambling through this. I'm like,
Oh, sorry.
okay, fine.
Does anybody have any questions about the project that we could answer to the best of our abilities, since Charlie and Paul are both gone? Alright, let's move on to quarterly reports. We got the sheriff department here. Micah, you wanna give us that update?
I'll stand so it doesn't get hostile. Sergeant Allard, Sheriff's Office. For August, we had 85 and a half hours spent down here. We had 97 total calls for the month, so it doesn't sound like it's slowed down at all since the month prior. So hopefully everybody's going back to school and things are gonna slow down, so should see a decrease to those numbers next month. We have open deputy position, so if anybody knows anybody that wants to be a deputy out here, send them down to the clerk and recorder, have them apply down there, they'll give them all the information. Yeah, that's what I got, so.
Does anybody have
Thank
any questions for Micah? Yeah, thank you, Micah. For Sergeant Allard.
And the sheriff sends his regards, obviously, yeah, prior commitments.
No worries. Does anybody have any questions? Alright, thank you for that update. It looks like we don't have the fire department here, the county planner, or the county attorney. So let's move on to old business. We still need government review volunteers. We haven't had anybody show, nobody's come to the office right now, too.
No, not yet.
And then, is there any, yeah, that's just more of an announcement. Nothing that needs to be,
No takers at
Yeah.
all, huh? The
All right.
requirement is they have to live within.
within the time limits, yeah.
And it's entirely voluntary, there's no compensation as well. And that's by the law of the project
Sure.
statewide.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the resolution, the final resolution for the Bear Smart Management Plan. I will go ahead and do the second reading. We did the resolution intent for the first reading last meeting, and now I will do the second reading. All right, let me take a drink of water before I do this. All right, resolution adopting the Bear Human Conflict Management Plan for the town of Alberton, Montana. Whereas the town of Alberton approved resolution number 337 on November 12, 2024, stating its intentions for the town to become a bear smart community. And whereas adopting a management plan for reducing bear-human conflict is an essential step towards becoming a bear smart community. And whereas the Alberton Town Council and the Bear Smart Alberton Working Group have jointly prepared a management plan titled Bear Human Conflict Management Plan for the Alberton, Montana area. And whereas this management plan is an educational guideline for town residents and can be modified and updated by the Alberton Town Council as needed, as conditions change or we learn more about reducing bear-human conflicts. Now therefore it be resolved that the town of Alberton adopts the Bear-Human Conflict Management Plan for the town of Alberton, Montana area as educational guideline and implementing Bear Smart Communities program in the Alberton town limits. And be it further resolved that the town of Alberton commits to implementing this management plan in cooperation with the non-government and industry partners, subject to available funding and personnel. Passed and adopted as this resolution at the Town Council of the Alberton State of Montana on the scheduled meeting held. All right, so I'm going to open it up to public comment for the council motions to approve this final reading. Is there any public comment on the resolution as read? All right, there's no public comment. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution to adopt the Bear-Human Conflict Management Plan?
I will first.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have officially adopted the Bear Management Plan. And that is completed. Now let's move on to new business. We have Amy Parks with the Mineral County Department of Emergency Services for the mitigation plan approval.
Hi, thanks for having me. I am here to talk about the not super fun topic of hazard mitigation. I don't want to get too verbose about it, so let me know how much you guys know about this plan, and I can give you a little bit of background on why we even have one, why we're looking at updating it right now, and kind of what our county plans are going forward. It is a requirement that every jurisdiction have a hazard mitigation plan. So if you look at hazard mitigation, those two words, really we're just looking at potential emergencies that may happen in our county, and we're looking at ways that we can reduce some of the impact. So that's really what hazard mitigation means. We are required to have one, and it's active for about 5 years. Our last one that was updated, this was prior to my time, updated in 2020, and so we're still kind of riding that one out for the county until the end of this year. Normally, or historically, each jurisdiction has done their own threat assessments for their county, and then they've put together a plan, and it's pretty localized just to the county. The state had the great idea, and you'll see where my personal opinion comes into this. They had a great idea quite a few years ago to hire some contractors to put together 3 statewide, so it would be regional plans. So one is central, one is western, and one is eastern. We fall in that western plan. So what the contractors did was put together a western regional hazard mitigation plan, and then they broke out annexes for each jurisdiction. It's the same way, sorry, to skin a cat, you can do it a few different ways. So this is how they chose to do it, was with annexes. So those larger regional plans have been adopted, and now we're in the process of working through getting basically the annexes or the jurisdictional ones through. It already needs to be updated. It was given to me about a year ago, and I did throw a little bit of a fit, being a bit of a data person. If you do look through this, you can see that it's already out of date before it even made it to us. So what I talked, with our county commissioners for a while about it, we asked a lot of clarifying questions to the state, because I'm always leery anytime we're asked to sign something. We want to make sure we know what we're doing. We do like the plan. We would write one very, very similar to it. It's just out of date. So what we clarified and what we've put in each of the resolutions, so the county has adopted this hazard mitigation plan. The town of Superior has also adopted it, and I'm in front of you guys seeing what you think about it. It's certainly up to the town of Alberton. If you want to choose to be a part of this, you're already kind of protected because you fall within the county, but you're also incorporated. So it could get gray if FEMA ever had to get involved. It's been an interesting year for FEMA. I can tell you that being funded by FEMA and CDC has been a very interesting year for me. So still here for at least another year, which is great. So where we're at with this plan, the one caveat that I kind of pushed through with the state was making sure that we were able to update with information as we wanted to. So really the state's only concern is you need a hazard mitigation plan. We're never actually going to look at it. That's great, but we want something that is actually usable. So I want to say that this data is probably only good until about 2021. So if you want to be a part of this Western Regional Plan within the county, I am happy to update that data. What I would ask is that there's somebody in the town of Alberton that I can bounce things off of. I don't want to just find and plug and play. I would like to be able to come back and say, hey, here's what I've found. Does this look representative to you guys? So we're doing the same thing in the town of Superior, and then also mostly those demographics and data. Even the threats that are listed in here are not indicative of the threats that we have identified as a county from 1.5 years ago. So it really needs an overhaul. This is one of those check the box things, but I also want it to be something that's useful for everyone. So that's where I stand with it. So my ask is that you consider adopting, this is literally the one that the town of Superior signed. The caveat at the bottom, like I said, states that we get to exercise updating whenever we want. We don't have to follow through with whatever the state would like. If we want to update it in 1 week, we can, and it's still considered a go. Can I answer any questions? Sorry, it can get kind of boring talking about this stuff, but I want you to have enough background to understand what we're talking about. So I'm happy to answer any questions or have a conversation about it.
So what are you updating?
So it is a requirement. This is the interesting thing. It's a requirement through our state. If we don't have a hazard mitigation plan in place, let's say the Clark Fork ends up flooding, like well over the 100-year flood. So let's say it floods here, and we don't have a hazard mitigation plan that we have approved. The area that does not have that approval is not allowed to access FEMA funding. That could be an if, because we don't even know what emergency FEMA funding looks like going forward. So that's why I say it's like checking a box. But we at least know we won't be able to go for it if something were to happen, if we don't have something approved. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but for example, in Missoula County right now, you have the county commissioners working parallel with FEMA, and they are expanding the floodplains out there, and they're expanding them so much that they're putting people into the floodplains that have a mortgage. And if you have a mortgage and you're put into the floodplains, you could lose that mortgage and go into foreclosure. You could be forced to take on mortgage flood insurance. So these are things that are financial devastations to some people that fall into what they would call a floodplain. So
Absolutely.
just a heads up.
No, it's a great question. So I don't have anything to do.
real quick, sorry.
Sorry. No?
My name is Christopher Colbus.
No, thanks for that. I do want to make a distinction that I'm not with the floodplain. There is a project that's happening out in St. Regis right now where they're, I can't think of the right word, but they're looking at changing the floodplain. I don't have anything to do with that, nor would I as the county emergency manager. My job really is to come in and be like, oh, something bad just happened. Like if you see me, it's going to be on your worst day. Unfortunately, sorry, I am actually nice, but yeah, so really it is my job to end up doing a lot of the paperwork. So making sure that we are eligible for disaster relief and hope that we never have to use it. But in looking at this hazard mitigation, it doesn't have anything to do with floodplain. It's only what already exists and it doesn't expand anything. So it is two separate things, if that helps, but I did talk about a flood, so I can see where I drew that parallel.
Or
Yeah.
kind of like an example, like when we had the fire on Bible Lane and you kept in contact with us and we came up with a plan to anybody that needed to be redirected here to the community center to have a place to go, like that's kind of what she's talking about, is just a plan of action.
And the nerdy side of this is that we look at the potential hazards, we kind of rank them as the most likely, least likely to happen, and then we build specific training all the way down to your first responders. Like if there's something that we identify as highly likely in our county, that is specifically what we're looking at and trying to prepare for when it comes to emergencies.
So does that mean that those people have to pay higher insurance
For,
for living there?
I'm sorry, say that
So
again?
does that mean those people have to pay higher insurance than for living there? I just want to make that clear because that is happening all throughout this.
I hear what you're saying, totally do, I have nothing to do with it. So
I'm just making that so everybody understands that when you get involved with FEMA, you can have higher insurance rates,
Okay.
which means,
which we're not, and I'm not,
just making clear.
but I get it.
Nancy has.
I'm Nancy Tom, the clerk, and I just wanted to say something that you said that was really important, is that being an incorporated town, we sometimes fall outside of protections. I'm finding this out with some other things. And so it's important to kind of cover our bases and make sure we're covered in an emergency. And I think this is one of those plans that helps. So that's all I have to say.
I'd like to say that was a good point to bring up over there.
I take people's home, I'm sorry. I'm a foreclosure dealer as well, and I deal with a lot of this on a professional basis. So that's
Yeah, I've been watching the floodplain stuff pretty closely. It's a good point to bring up, but so this is
This is
completely
not bad.
separate from all that.
Yes.
This is emergency stuff.
It is.
Now,
And the only,
you
yeah,
guys
go
are
ahead.
specifically funded through the state?
So
Or is it
as the
through
emergency
government
manager,
program?
yes, so as the emergency manager, it's considered a federal to state to local
It's
pass.
federal.
So it's all the way up at the federal level through FEMA.
Okay.
It goes to State Department of Emergency Services, which then goes to your local jurisdiction emergency manager. So that's the role that I fulfill
Gotcha.
for that. So I am,
I was curious how high
It's
that
a-
goes, if it
yeah,
ends at state
it's
or
a
it's
federal state
beyond
pass
that.
through. Yeah,
Okay, because I do remember you were here, was it like 2 years ago?
probably. Yeah.
You went over it pretty extensively.
Oh, that was the EOP. That's the monster document, yes. Yeah.
It's a good program.
I have a question. So if we
Could
don't
you
sign
stand
on
and
to.
state your name, please?
Oh, Christopher Cudino. If we don't sign on to that, you said that we have a chance of being skipped by FEMA in the event of an emergency?
Potentially, and that only comes, and this is where it gets down to like really brass tacks. You have to have specific plans in place before you can even apply for FEMA funding. So you have to have an emergency that's big enough to, it's 2 mills, so I'm gonna try not to get too in the weeds with this, but once you have an emergency where the cost exceeds what the value of 2 mills in your own jurisdiction is, then you become eligible for reimbursement. So you have to be tracking receipts, every single cost, everything that goes in to making that emergency X amount of dollars. Once you reach that point, then basically we apply to the state and we say, hey, this is more than what any of us can afford, even within 2 mills. So then they start handling it through us and they pass it up to FEMA as an application for 2 separate types. It depends on whether it's individual or public assistance. It's super confusing. It's taken me
Yeah,
like
because
2
it's-
years to figure it out.
It's, for me, that's the money that's our money. We fund FEMA. And you're saying that if we don't fill out the forms the way they want them, they won't give us our own money back to help us in case of an emergency?
Possibly.
That's
I
pretty-
didn't
that's pretty
make the
bold.
rules. I
That's
didn't
Generally
make
how the federal government
Yeah.
works.
That's pretty bold.
No, I worked for the health department for about 5 years before I realized that I worked for the government. I honestly didn't know. It was like, why is everyone so mad at us? And it's like, oh, you work for the government. It's kind of the same thing. What you guys need to know is that regardless of this, I'm not pushing one way or the other. I truly want you guys to understand it's an option. However, I understand that as the county emergency manager, I know what that does in opening up funding for us if something were to ever happen. I also am very resistant to checking boxes. So it is hard for me to show up and be like, I hate this plan. I know how to fix it and I know how to make it useful. And I feel like it's something that we have to do to just go through the motions.
I also am cautioned by something that is not presented as a reason to convince somebody, but that in order to play along, you need to do this, and then it can be used as a cudgel.
As a cudgel, define what you mean by
To be
that.
taken back away, whatever it is that we're looking to be protected by.
If you've ever
If you don't
played
do what
with
we say
federal
we're gonna do,
government
we're gonna
money,
take it back away.
well, it's not me.
Right,
Yeah,
no, I'm not
that's-
saying that, I'm
Yeah.
saying that this is what it sounds like,
Yeah, and that's what it feels like.
yeah.
So-
I just wanted,
Yeah.
if anybody else felt the same way.
No, I do, I'm standing here telling you, but I also understand the place for this, and I understand if we polish it up, it's actually gonna be a decent document for
Right
us,
on.
and it opens doors for us, and I see where you're coming from, if that helps.
I'm on board with everything you wanna do.
Alright. Alright, do we have any public comment to the council before a motion is made to approve the disaster plan? Or the hazard mitigation plan, sorry. Yeah, would you like me to read it aloud? Alright,
Oh, yeah.
so adopting the
Oh.
2024 Western Montana Region Hazard Mitigation Plan. Whereas the town of Alberton recognizes the threat that natural hazards pose to people and property within our community, and whereas undertaking hazard mitigation actions will reduce the potential for harm to people and property from future hazard occurrences. And whereas an adopted hazard mitigation plan is required as a condition of future funding for mitigation projects under multiple federal emergency management agency pre- and post-disaster mitigation grant programs. And whereas the town of Alberton resides within the planning area and fully participated in the mitigation planning process to prepare this hazard mitigation plan. And now therefore it be resolved that the council of the town of Alberton hereby adopts the Western Montana Region Hazard Mitigation Plan as an official plan. And be it further resolved that the town of Alberton will submit its adoption resolution to the Montana Disaster and Emergency Services and Federal Emergency Management Agency Region 8 officials to enable the plan's final approval. While some content may require revisions to meet the plan approval requirements, changes occurring after adoption will not require the town of Alberton to readopt any further iterations of the plan. Do I have any public comment about the hazard mitigation plan before council makes a motion? Alright, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the first.
Alright,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Alright, everyone in favor? Alright, now let's move on to peak updates.
Hi everyone, my name is Erin Kelly, this is Samantha Ball. We're here on behalf of the Peak Foundation. And for those of you who don't know what the Peak Foundation is, it stands for Promoting Excellence in Alberton Area Kids. We're a volunteer-run nonprofit dedicated to strengthening the Alberton community. We provide free events and philanthropic support focused on education, safety, and health. We are here to share some ideas we have for some holiday festivities, / seek permission, see if anyone is interested, do people want this. We did pass around some flyers if you want to take a look. First of all, we wanted to do some, put up some holiday lights in the park. At the very least, probably decorate a tree, fully decorate a large tree, probably not the one out here because it's now half a tree. We often do a tree decorating and then kick off Helping Hands Giving Tree, which provides holiday gifts for families in need. And in years past, we've done a potluck as well, so we would like to do a potluck this year. All of these ideas center around the park and the community center. We will need volunteers. We're hoping for volunteers. I mean, kind of half the point of it is to get the community involved, not just have them come to our events, but, you know, get everyone involved. At best, we have applied for a grant through Montana Mental Health and Substance Abuse Prevention, specifically for lights in the park. If we get that, we will have a lot of lights and decorations for the park, so we'll need some help. We have a rough schedule for this. If we get that, we're thinking like November 23rd, people can meet, help us put up lights. We have 2 electricians on our board that will be overseeing things. We also have a lot of solar lights and that, because we are aware that we have basically 2 options at this end of the park and that for plugging lights in. Let's see, what else are we doing? We're also thinking about, we're gonna have like some holiday craft workshops. Some of them will be free, put on by Peak with supplies provided. Some of them will be put on by community members, which will cost some money for the supplies in the class. For all ages, obviously it's very kid-centered and family-centered. What else do we say? And then we're thinking around December 20th, we're gonna hire a Santa. And
Which we're looking for still, so if anybody has a good
I
Santa.
have one lead.
Oh, good.
And then there's some other things that we are looking into having happen, including possibly sleigh rides, a bake sale, holiday market in here, much like the winter farmers market that happens. Possibly caroling. We were informed that in Superior they do, they have fire barrels, and people gather around those. We're thinking maybe marshmallows or chestnuts. If we could possibly do that, maybe also invite the fire department to come and decorate their truck and hang out, if that is possible. So these are all of our ideas, and we wanted to put them out there and kind of seek permission, and yeah, we're just starting here. So we would love your feedback. And well, yeah, like a little mini parade for like holiday characters. I'm gonna do like a mask making workshop. So I was thinking, I don't know if anyone has heard of like Krampus and Krampus parades, but I didn't want to go full Krampus, but I did. I'm interested in making a Krampus mask, and maybe some other people I know, but any holiday character. If they want to be Rudolph or Santa or like whatever.
That sounds awesome, like a holiday parade.
We did already get approved for, it's a large chunk of lights, and those funds haven't been issued, they're through the state, and it's through Montana Mental Health, so it's just in limbo right now. If those funds don't come in for that large amount of lights that we want, then Peak will still make sure that we at least decorate the large tree and maybe get a few of those things. But if people have things that they want to donate to us or suggestions on.
And so you're wanting to decorate a large tree, but are you also decorating the giving tree?
Yes.
Okay,
But
so I
that-
remember like Peak used to always decorate this tree that broke in half, and then we planted that tree to start decorating every year, so I wasn't sure if you were.
We'll still
Talking about
decorate
two
that,
trees?
but it's so small, we want
I
it
know.
to be bigger.
But it will eventually grow big, but
Yeah, it'll get there. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I think we should put the giving tree tags on the large tree if that happens, so it's like a really big special moment.
How can they reach?
Oh, is it high off the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't looked at it. Yeah, so I was thinking like a Christmas tree, you're pretty close to the ground. But if that's not a possibility, then we should just do the small one. I just thought like when we have our large tree lighting ceremony or whatever word to use, that it would be cool to also highly encourage people to take those tags at the same time.
And we'd also have a potluck that night, which I heard used to happen before.
Yes, they always
So we'll
did a
get that
potluck with the thing, yeah. And I'm willing to help volunteer and with all these little events as long as I double check my schedule. And I'm still coming next Friday to volunteer up at the orchard with you guys.
Oh, cool. And if we needed to store, if we get those large items, is it possible to use some storage? Peak does have a shipping container storage space. It's hard to get in and out of right now. We're also looking for somebody to make us a door in that. But yeah, so if there's any storage available for the potential of that.
Yeah, we were hoping maybe we could store a few things in the garage here.
Is there room in the garage here, Nancy?
Not sure.
That would
I'm
be
sure
a
we can make
question
room.
for
I'm sure we can
Yeah.
make room.
I
Yeah.
was in there with Morgan recently, and it seemed like there was some space.
Okay, so I think that's where we keep a lot of our Christmas.
Yes, and all of the light,
We can make room.
whatever.
Yeah, we
hanging
can
out
make
there.
room. Yeah.
But we might have some overflow.
If those ones.
Well, I love all these ideas. Does council have any questions?
No questions, I think it sounds great.
No. I say rock and roll. And if anybody is interested in volunteering or helping Peak out, they're definitely want to meet up with them after the meeting and give them their interest. I bet they'd very much appreciate that. All right. Do you guys have any more for us before we move on? All right. Let's move on to clerk notes.
Okay, clerk notes. So, I wanted to update everybody on the election only because it was brought to my attention by, the Mineral County office is, due to a Mineral County clerical error, we will no longer be holding a mail-in ballot election. It will be a standard vote in person or absentee ballot situation. Voting will be held on November 4th at St. Albert's Catholic Church from 12 to 8. And some statistics are Alberton currently has 302 registered voters. The town of Alberton registered voter breakdown is 257 are absentee voters, 16 are inactive voters, and 45 are regular registered voters. Ballots will be mailed out to all registered voters on October 10th. And just a special side note, one of the candidates, John Squire, the second, is currently listed as a candidate for Alberton Town Council. Squire has recently moved out of the Alberton town limits and missed the deadline to notify Mineral County, although he did do his due diligence to try to get them notified. So he didn't make the deadline, so he could be withdrawn from the council election. So he will be listed on the ballot and he can receive both votes, but due to the fact that he no longer resides in Alberton limits, he will not qualify by law to become an Alberton council member, but you can still vote for him if you choose. So that's all I have on the election update. And then I wanted to update everybody on the water meter billing situation. We have two different companies. We have the software company and then we have the meter reading company that downloads it's going to be really cool though. It downloads all the meter information in this meter infrastructure and you get to see all your stats and how you use everything. You can track your own usage and all this. You can set alerts for yourself. And then then that company communicates that information to the billing software by Black Mountain. And the two companies have not been very good at communicating from the onset, but now I've got them all communicating because apparently this Black Mountain software didn't have a 16-digit form when we needed it for this, and these meters can only be read with a 16-digit form. So I got Black Mountain on the horn and told them they need to make a 16-digit form so we can get the billing software set up. So we're in the final stages. We did some test files, so we're almost there. So hopefully the idea is that you're gonna be billed for your meter usage on the normal time this coming month here, right now. And that's where we are on that. And then we had a little, there's been a little development in the basement at the office. And I went down to get a binder just about a day and a half ago. And there's water infiltrating the basement. And it's not a leak from a pipe. It's it's like there's some of the sprinklers are bad. We don't quite know, but it's after the rain and the sprinklers. And it's basically kind of coming down the wall a little. And it's all over the floors, the walls. There's some mold developing. I didn't notice it, so I went down there, and there's actually water on the floor and on the concrete, and it's up on the shelves. It's on things. It's not like standing water. It's just because it's running down the walls and getting on the shelves and getting into boxes that are on the ground. So I kind of made an emergency call to a fella who can come out tomorrow and just mitigate. We've turned off the sprinklers. And there's no rain coming for a few days, so we're gonna mitigate the outside and the inside just on that corner where it's leaking really bad. And so he gave me a quick quote tonight before the meeting, and he can start tomorrow, and it's a 2-day job. So it was just kind of an on-the-fly thing, and he came highly recommended, and I have pictures for you guys so you can see some of the basic pictures that I took that day. But it smells in the office. It's that musty, stanky smell, and there have been a few people that have come in and commented on it thinking it's like a sewer, but it's just that smell is going all the way upstairs.
Do we need to approve this?
I don't know, because it's under a certain.
It's under a certain amount. This is kind of an emergency situation. Well, I can't just spend it without getting you guys in on it. I can't just willy-nilly.
Have them go do it.
And I told this guy this is a really good estimate. It's only $700. So it's not like it's a lot. I mean, not that that's not a lot, but I expected it to be a lot higher. Yeah, and it's very reasonable. And I also told him that this is just to get it started. If we find that he incurred a little more costs and supplies, or just we found something else, then we can addend that at the next meeting and do another.
Back to like the extra that we have around these kinds of things.
Right. And it's not a lot for what, I mean, we need to fix it. It's like, that's our records and everything down there.
Start tomorrow's.
Yeah.
My vote would be to do it.
Before council motions to move forward with this, do I have any public comments? All right. So Kyle motions to move forward with this emergency cleanup in the basement. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright, let's get this fixed. Also, they mentioned that in the future getting gutters.
Yes, that's the kind of phase 2 of the same project, and the guy can do it as well. And we have partial gutters over the door, but the problem is where this is happening is literally the roof is just running extra. So when the snow melts, it's just gonna come right down. So it's the second part. First part is just sealing it all up and getting it done. Then so we will probably revisit this, at least that part of it, but it's not a lot.
I mean, if he's available for gutters, you should just do it because it'll happen again.
Right, we're gonna do it. I just want to get this part,
The emergency part done first.
and then
do the proper.
then we'll do the regular, Yeah. I mean, it's all part of the same project. I'm just doing, this is the most important right now.
Yeah.
I mean, right this second. It'll all get done before, I'm gonna get done before winter.
Yeah. You say he's willing to do gutters as well.
I was thinking this.
And he came recommended as being able
Just try
to.
to keep him on it because it would be a shame to have him fix it and then we get a downpour.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the plan is, I just wanted to tackle this one first, because I wasn't sure what this was gonna be. So price wise, I thought it was gonna be a lot more. So
Right.
we're gonna,
That's really good. price
yeah.
for financing all that.
So, and so he seems extremely capable and knowledgeable. So, so we're gonna do that, and then we're definitely gonna do that aspect as well, just next phase. Next,
Okay, do you have any other clerk notes for us, Lindsay?
that's all.
All right, let's move on to public comment. Do I have any public comment? Bob?
Bob Summerfield with Bear Smart Alberton. I mentioned a few months ago that Bear Smart Alberton had received some substantial grant funding to do Bear Smart work here in Alberton. And that one of the things that we planned to do with that was to hire a part-time project coordinator. I'm happy to report that we have done that. And so I would like to introduce to you Dr. Jennifer Fortin Norius. Jennifer is truly one of the foremost bear research and management biologists in the nation. And we're very, very fortunate to have her become involved here in the Alberton Bear Smart effort. If you want more information on that, be sure to talk to her privately offline here, and she can tell you all the places she's been and all the things that she's done with bears, but it's very impressive. In addition to that, we got a kind of a 2-for-1 here. We have a new volunteer. This is Avery Jones. Avery is a recent U of M graduate in environment, correct me if I'm wrong, but environmental sciences. And her specialty is communities, community stability, community health, making thriving communities, all that sort of thing. Avery is local. She lives just across the bridge on Southside Road. So it's great to have a local person being involved in this. Jennifer and Avery have already started work. They've already got several things going. And I just wanted to introduce them because you're going to be seeing a lot of them here in Alberton in the months ahead. So.
Thank you for that, Bob. Do I have any other public comment? Yes, Jamie.
Yeah, James Jonko with Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks. I just want to let you know it's been really, really quiet all over Region 2. Usually this time of year is when our bears go into hyperphagia and things get pretty crazy. But our choke cherry is still hanging on, and we have excellent huckleberry up in the basins. But it could still happen. Usually in October is when we start to see a few bears looking for apples and garbage. So it's not over yet. But winter is coming.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right, and Samantha, you have public comment?
A comment about what you just mentioned. We live on Rose Hill right next to the orchard, and we saw the neighbor above us on his camera. He had a large cat, and then a couple houses down on Rose Hill, they did as well.
A large mountain lion?
Yes.
Okay, and did you say they found a kill as well?
No.
No.
Yeah, but I didn't know that they come in that close.
Lots of lions.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of lions.
Yes, they do.
Lots of lions around here.
Yeah, okay.
West Mountain Estates has had a lion hanging out in our neighborhood too.
Oh, wow. We also had a skink, a blue-tailed skink, which we heard is somebody that tracks those didn't know that they're here. So,
I wouldn't know, but I can ask Tori Ritter. He's our non-game.
You guys want to discuss this?
yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry.
I know it's good conversation.
Does bear spray work with mountain lions?
Yeah. Bear spray works great
They
on.
don't get to you. Yeah.
Works great on humans. Works great on bears. But you can use it on moose, angry doe whitetail. But it's only been approved for use in bear spray. But they use it on people in the prison systems. And I've used it on lions, and I've used it on moose, and I've used it on elk.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
very
you.
effective.
All right, do I have any other public comment? All right, No more public comment, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Go first.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, meeting is adjourned at 7:59 PM. Wow, look at that, we got done in less than an hour, guys.
I love Hey, Anna, Chris will want to talk to you. I told him he's probably going to want to talk to you a little bit. I'll get checks for you.
Do you guys have
It's for me, actually. It's not just for her, it's actually.
Try to do what I can.
I wanted to talk to you about.
Very cool. Thank you so much again for your
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. And I did see your emails about the plan, and I'm just like, it was right in the middle of me just being totally weird, and I'm like, so, sorry.